In this video, I'm going to show you how to install wampserver on a Windows laptop, desktop computer, or personal computer PC. It is advisable that if you already have previous wampserver versions, functional or not functional, on your computer, you first uninstall them. You can check the video how to uninstall wampserver in this YouTube channel, superCoolclues, for detailed step-by-step instructions on how to do this. To install wampserver, you need to download it from the internet. You type wampserver.com in your internet browser. That should take you to the wampserver.com website, which is initially in French. You need to turn it into English. You click on English and it will turn into English. Once the website has turned into English, you scroll down to the downloads section. In the download section, you'll find two versions of wampserver. The wampserver 64 bits version and the wampserver 32 bits version. You select the correct version according to your Windows version. My Windows version is 64 bits, so I click on wampserver 64 bits. On the download screen, I need to download it directly, so I click on you can download it directly. That takes me to a countdown, counting down from 5 to 0 for my download to start. I wait for it patiently. Within a few seconds, my download should be starting. Once it has started, I get that message saying thank you for downloading wampserver, and I can monitor the progress of the download in the top right corner, and I wait for it patiently to download until it is completed. Once wampserver download is complete, look for the downloaded wampserver application where you normally have your downloads. In my case, my downloads are always in downloads, so I look for downloads. Then I click on downloads. I look for wampserver on the list. There it is at the top. I right click on wampserver and select run as administrator. So I click on run as administrator. And when the message comes whether I want to allow wampserver setup to make changes to the device, I click on yes. Then I select English and then click OK. The license agreement comes up. You need to read the license agreement thoroughly, so you read it clause by clause, slowly, scrolling down. Make sure you don't violate any of the clauses both now and in future. Once you reach the bottom, you click on I accept the agreement and then click next. Then you get information about the installation of the wampserver, some of which includes information saying that you should not install wampserver over existing versions, and also some information about Visual C++. That should be fine on most computers, but on some older computers you might have to install some Visual C++ packages manually. Just note and click on next. Then for the installation folder, just leave WAMP64, the default. Click next. On the selected components, the installation process should select the best components for you, including the best versions, unless you have some specific version requirements and components. You just need to note the space requirements. Make sure you have enough free space to install the wampserver. Click next. On the startup menu folder, just leave wampserver 64. That should be fine. Just click on next. The system is ready to install. Just note the components it's going to install and click on install. At this stage, the real installation begins. the system will tell you it is extracting some files, and it will show you a green progress bar. Patiently watch and wait. The system will tell you that it is going to use Edge as the browser. If you don't like it, change. Like I like Mozilla Firefox, so I'm going to change. I click yes to change. And I need to look for Mozilla Firefox on my computer. So I click on this PC. Then I click on local disk C. I click on program files. I look for Mozilla Firefox. I click on Mozilla Firefox. Then I look for Firefox. I click on Firefox and click open. It says it's going to use Notepad as the text editor. I don't have a problem with that, so I don't change. I click no, I don't want to change. And the installation process continues, showing me the green progress bar. I patiently wait and watch. It's going to take some few seconds, so you need to patiently watch. Now it's saying it's remaining with 30 seconds. Now it says 10 seconds remaining. It might take a little more depending on how fast your computer is. It brings the information about how wampserver works, instructions for use. There's a PDF for instruction for use. You need to note it. And also it brings information about use the left click and right click on the green wampserver icon in the taskbar. Just note and click next. At this stage, wampserver installation is almost complete. The system tells you that you might have to restart your computer. Some new computers are okay, you don't need to restart. Note this information and click on finish. The installation is done, but you need to do some tests to ensure. Test the wampserver installation. We look for the wampserver icon on the desktop. We need to confirm that there is a wampserver icon on the desktop. After that, we need to test the presence of the wampserver directory or folder. So we click on local disk C, and there we are. Wampserver folder is there, wamp64. We click on wamp64 and note the presence of the subfolders, especially the ww subfolder and the bin subfolder. The bin subfolder contains most of the applications, including mysql and PHP, among others. At this point, we need to go and test the localhost. So to do that, we open our favorite browser, in my case Firefox. Once the favorite browser opens up, we type in localhost in the address bar, press enter, and the wampserver tries to load some information. If you get an error like I'm getting there, unable to connect, it means there's something wrong with our installation. Either the services are not there, the wampserver services are not there, or they are not running. So we need to check the services. To do that, we type services in the bottom left corner near the start button. We type services there. Then we click on services. A list of all the services that are running or available on this computer will be displayed. The list is alphabetical. On that list, we need to look for wampserver. So we scroll down, and wampserver services are actually there. There are 3 services. They are there, but they are not running. They are supposed to be starting manually, so we need to go and start them. To start the services, we need to click on the wampserver icon. So we double click on the wampserver icon, and then we get a message that we need to allow wampserver manager to make changes to the device, you click yes, and then the wampserver services are loaded, beginning with the red wampserver icon, followed by amber, and later on followed by a green wampserver icon. We need to confirm that these services have been loaded. We click on that and then check whether there is a green wampserver icon saying that all services are running. It is there, so we test. Now you can test the wampserver installation again. Open the internet browser, type in localhost, press enter, and wait as wampserver tries to load some information. You can see the wampserver homepage loading. Finally, it is displayed on the screen. That seems to say that the wampserver installation is okay. You can see the various configuration information about the various software and their versions. But you can check more about whether the installation is fine by clicking on phpinfo. Click on phpinfo. And this should display a list of all PHP variables and their values. This is the list. You can check the list, scroll down a bit to see those variables and their values. At this point, you don't need to worry about them. You're going to worry about them later when you start using wampserver. You can go back to the wampserver screen, and you need to test phpmyadmin by clicking on phpmyadmin. It loads also its information. It brings the login screen, which seems to say it's fine. If the username is not there, type in root. Initially, the password is blank, but you need to change it as soon as possible. At this point, just click on login, and the phpmyadmin opens up, and you can see all the information. You can see server. So the installation has been successful. But to ensure that services are automatic, we need to make them automatic. So we click on services, and in the list of services that is available, we look for wampserver once again. So we look for the 3 wampserver services, and we need to make sure they start automatically every time the computer starts. It should be somewhere down there. So we click on each one of them. Then we change the startup type from manual to automatic. Click on apply. Click OK. Click on the second one. Change manual to automatic. Click apply. Click OK. Click on the third one. Change manual to automatic. Click apply. Click OK. And everything from now onwards should be fine. The services should start automatically. This completely ends our installation exercise. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to superCoolclues if you have not subscribed. Subscription is free.